Okay, so here we go. Let's get this thing going on. So listen, this workout was done what was it? Yesterday. It was yesterday at Crescent Town. That's my home gym. I've been training there for 40 years. I shouldn't say there, I should say here. 40 years in this gym. By the way, that should tell you something about my age. I know some of you don't like to tell how old you are, but trust me, I am probably older than your father, or probably some of you your grandfathers, right? So keep in mind, I've been training for 40 years, right? So and you don't start at the age of 10, okay? All right, so anyways, but we're going to do a very light chest workout today. Before I go through the workout, I usually like to go through my bag, get myself all set up, get my music, my headphones on, my headphones, my music. That's very important. Like, I need my music. Without my music, fuck it. The times when I've gone to the gym and just come home because I didn't have my fucking headphones, believe it or not. But thank God I have a gym in the house. So, when I leave the house, it's because I'm tired of being dungeon. The dungeon, notorious dungeon, which is actually the original Crescent Town gym. Most of you don't know that. I have the original Crescent Town gym. It's now in my basement. It's called the dungeon, right? That's the equipment that was in this place prior to this equipment that you see me using. So here we go. What are we doing? Okay, we're working on the chest. Okay, look, as you get older, you gotta worry about your joints, you gotta worry about injuries, and one of the easiest way to injure yourself is to keep thinking that at 50 or at 60 you're just as strong as you were at 20, or in your teenage years. And a lot of people make that mistake. Well, let me tell you, I'm not that stupid, okay? I'm very smart about that. And a lot of guys that I started training with in my teenage years, trust me, they don't look anything like me at all. They don't look anything like me anymore. That's because they went all out and burnt out. So you gotta train smart, right? And that's what this workout is about. It's about training light and still maximizing your effort and getting 100% out of your workout. Remember, we train with intention and purpose. Intention and purpose. A lot of people don't know what that is, because a lot of people come into the gym, and when they come into the gym, they're really on a cruise control. You know what I mean? On a cruise control. I'll get to that point later on. But let's get to the exercise that I'm doing right now, right here. Right? If you notice, the way that I do this exercise, right, I like to go to one side, grab the handle, and then walk that handle all the way around to the other side, and then grab that handle and walk all the way back to the middle. And then I'll do, the exercise. And I find that it's easier that way because then I have control, okay? And I usually also finish the exercise the same way, as you can see right now, right? Look at that, look. Okay, I'm gonna hold it right there, and I'm gonna walk all the way around to the other side, grab that one handle, and come right to the center, and then what? Boom, here we go. I execute my movements. Okay, this is a pec deck. Okay, it's no different than the pec deck. Okay, I mean, I love this machine, right? You can also do the reverse for your rear delts, by the way, okay? But this is a good way to stress the chest. And I go a decent weight, lightweight, full stretch, keep the elbows up, right? See, as you see that? And I walk it all the way back the same way that I started it, okay? So again, full stretch back, and then full squeeze coming forward. And when I do that, what am I doing? I am using my chest to squeeze. I initiate the movement with the flex, okay? And I end it with the flex. Begin with the contraction and end with the contraction. I use the contraction to initiate the movement and to execute the movement. Okay, so here we go again. Walk with it around. This time the opposite side. A lot of people don't do that. Everybody has their own way of doing it. Everybody has their own way of doing it. Okay, so here we go. Boom. Full stretch. Boom. Full stretch. Boom. Try to keep your elbows above your wrist. Okay? Alright? And your shoulders above your elbows above your wrist. Don't drop your elbows below your wrist. Otherwise, you're going to be using your arms instead of using your chest. But it's very hard to do, obviously, right? But those are the little things that make a difference in whether you get results or not, and if you get that extra mile out of your workout. Okay, so I do all these a lot of people consider these finishing movements, you know, the cable crossovers, you know, the pec deck, you know what I mean, and you know, the flies and so forth. But here's the trick, because I'm trying to avoid injury and I don't want to go heavy, right? What I will do is I will use the so-called finishing exercises as an appetizer. Okay, I will start with those exercises. By the way, I want you to take a notice. You see my nipples? They're kind of a little bit soggy. You can see that. That's not gyno, by the way. It could be gyno, who knows? But I'm gonna get rid of that within 2 weeks. That's about 5 pounds of weight to lose. Okay, so I'm actually not in the best shape right now. I'm getting there. I'm almost there. I'm about 2 weeks away from my summer physique. But as I was saying, what was I saying? Shit, now I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, I will use these as appetizers, and the reason being is that by starting with these so-called finishing exercises, I pre-exhaust. Right? Pre-exhaust. What do I mean? That means I fatigue the muscle, okay, before I get to the main course. You see? So what do I mean by main course? Main course would be, you know, the flat bench, the incline bench, you know, the heavy dumbbells, the heavy barbells, and so forth. Right? I'm trying to avoid that. So by pre-exhausting the muscle, by doing the so-called finishing exercises first, the flies, the pec deck, and so forth, I pre-exhaust the chest so that when I get over here to the dumbbells, I don't have to use 100 pounds anymore. My chest is already fried. My chest is already burnt. So all I have to do now is look. This, I think that's a 35 pounds right there. But I'm telling you, that 35 pounds feels like 100 pounds. Okay. And I don't know if you notice, you may not notice, I'm using my chest to push the weight up. I'm not using my arms. All right. Now, next time I do this, I'll show you what I mean, right? Intentionally, so that you can actually understand what I mean. But you gotta, again, initiate the movement with the muscle and end it with the muscle. Contraction, 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 squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That's what you're looking for, right? So here we go, right? Now look at that, okay? Also, if you notice, my right arm seems to go higher than my left. Most people think my right is stronger. No, I'm actually using the right more on purpose because I'm weaker on the right hand side. So I'm focusing more on the right hand side, right hand, and I'm pushing with the right hand because I want to make sure that I get there. Otherwise, if I don't focus on it, the left hand will get there before the right hand, and I won't be able to lock out the right hand. Okay, so I purposely focus on the right hand and I push it a little bit higher, right? But I'm a lot stronger on the left hand. Okay, so that's intentional in case you noticed that. But so again, 35 pounds now feels like it's 100 pounds, right? It feels like 100 pounds. So I make lightweight feel like it's heavyweight, and now my joints are safer. Guess what? All the blood goes into the fucking chest. The chest is fucking pumped up. The muscles are fucking. We get the muscle erection. You understand? The hard on. You understand? Now the chest has a hard on, and I'm stiff on the chest, right? So here we go. We're doing this again. This time, and I like to do variations. I like to do flies with presses at the same time, right? If you notice, see, I'm changing what? Do you see that? Do you see my handle? Okay. I change from side grip to a center grip, from a side grip to a center grip. Okay. So basically from normal straight up presses, okay, as you can see right there, okay, and then I will alternate it. Okay, I'm able to do that because it's lightweight, and that variation gives it a level of difficulty that otherwise I would not be able to give myself if I was doing heavyweight. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, right, see, there you go. Now I've changed the angle. You see the handle, look at that. Now that feels heavy like a bitch. So now I gotta drop the weight, right, and grab what? Something even lighter, which is gonna feel just as heavy as what? As the 35s. Now I believe these are 25s. So I'm down, what is it? I'm down what? 10 pounds, right? And I'm suffering. Look at that, right? Look at that. I'm feeling the burn. And that's what you want. You want it on location. You want to feel the burn on location. When you can do that, you're doing something, okay? And so, look, if you're doing this for 40 years like me, and you don't know what you're doing, then, boy, you got yourself a problem. Now, look, inside this gym right now, I'm the oldest guy in this gym anytime I'm in there. I've been training here for 40 years. And I can guarantee you I look better than anybody that's in this gym at any given day. No lie. All these young guys couldn't stand next to me, right? And I am their grandfather. And it's, every day somebody's going to come up to me in this gym, or any gym that I go to. It's like, what? How old are you? You're kidding me. What? You're going to your 60s? Motherfucker. Holy shit. Well, you know what? I walk the walk. I don't just talk, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing this a lifetime. I enjoy doing this. This is a passion. I'm lucky to be doing this for a living, right? So if you need some help, let me know. You know, subscribe. Okay? Look, man, editing and recording. I just wish I had somebody to do all the editing and the recording for me, and I can just do the workout, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't post much, but I'm gonna try my best. I said to myself this year, I'm gonna post every day if I can, but because I have a lot of material from the past that I'm gonna be posting, right? So new and old material as well. So this is yesterday. I also have other workouts from the past that I'm gonna be editing and I'm gonna be posting. Each one of them is gonna have the date on it, anyways. So and then you can get to see, because some of the videos you actually see the difference, the transformation, right, from week to week. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this workout. There will be more coming up. Look, all you need is 3 exercises. Do variations of it, you know, change angles here and there, work with certain, you know, different weights, and focus on getting the blood into the fucking muscle. Engorgement, muscle engorgement. You hear me? Salute! Love ya. See you again. Boom! Yeah, buddy. Yup.